obstacles and their own triumphs into it, whether that's a disastrous marriage or a serious debilitating illness that somebody's trying to overcome. They view the bars of Shawshank as a metaphor for their own difficulties and then consequently their own hopes and triumphs. And people really do draw strength from the movie for that reason.
Yeah, Robbins, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one of the lessons of the movie is that you can't overcome adversity.
You can.
You can. You can.
And it starts inside yourself.
It starts with, yeah. And that's the catalyst for that.
And he's the catalyst for that, because what happens to him? You give me this sort of who is Andy and how does he overcome?
Andy is probably the only innocent person in Shawshank. Everyone says they are, but he is there, shouldn't be there, but finds a way to survive. And the way he finds a way to survive is through a very slow trajectory. A 20-year plan that he will get out. But in order to survive, in the meantime, seeks stimulation, music, art, literature, and tries to inspire that in people around him. The idea of hope. And there's that scene in the dining room where he talks about hope. And Red says it's a dangerous thing, and I think that's one of the reasons why people have responded so much to the movie. Is that you were talking
the triumph of hope?
Well, the idea of hope, that it is possible, that everyone, despite whatever marriage or a terrible job you're stuck in, or situation, domestic situation, that everyone does have the hope that there is possible in your life a beach in Zihuatanejo. That is a possible goal, that exists out there. And I think that's maybe why it's lasted so long and become such a profound movie for so many people.
I think I read somewhere that men come up to you a lot about this movie, or they did
That's
right
the
after
other thing that's really interesting. There's not a lot of movies with male friendships that don't involve car chases. Or,
Yes.
They're
not buddy films.
Right. It's really about a real friendship, and there's no model, really, for...
So it's hope, so it's friendship, themes that come out of this?
Friendship is a big one there, because a lot of people have told me that the big moment for them, the moment they cherish, the one moment they take away with them, is the moment that Red finds the box at the Abyssinian Rock. It's like everything sort of closes in and gets tight at that moment. That how many ever years ago that Andy told Red that when Red got out and decided to follow that, it was there. That was very, very important to people. Yeah. Very important.
Let me go to my first scene. This is Red at his parole hearing. I know
this is the last one.
This is the last one, and listen to what he says.
Ellis Boyd Redding, your files say you've served 40 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Rehabilitated? Well, now, let me see. I don't have any idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society.
I know what you think it means, Sonny. To me, it's just a made-up word. A politician's word, so that young fellas like yourself can wear a suit and a tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did?
Well, are you?
There's not a day goes by I don't feel regret. Not because I'm in here, because you think I should. I look back on the way I was then. A young, stupid kid who committed that terrible crime. I want to talk to him. I want to try to talk some sense to him. Tell him the way things are. But I can't. that kid's long gone, and this old man is all that's left. I gotta live with that. Rehabilitated, it's just a bullet word. So you go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because to tell you the truth, I don't give a.
What did he, we're not talking about the movie, what did he, Andy, teach you, Red, that you said, and that, what was that?
There is hope.
There is hope.
There is hope. He's out.
Because he's out in his mind.
He out, period. He's out. Outside,
Oh.
gone. Yeah. That was a feat. That was
You were there.
That was something. 20 years of tunneling. Just one man with a little ice axe, chipping away at solid rock. That's, to make up your mind to do it, you can do it. How do I know? My friend did it.
Your friend did it.
I love the effect that that has on him in this scene, though. Because he's a man who's got no more lying left in him. He's got no more masks. And
That's what I'm saying. I thought that was part of it. And he is so totally...
There's a guy who's to some degree already free because he's been completely liberated to the point where he can look these guys in the eye and tell them exactly what he thinks.
It was just noticing that, and it's such a beautiful performance there. But did you notice how slow that dolly was? Mm-hmm. That creep in. Yeah. It was just, he started around here, mm-hmm. and by the time you had finished, it was here, and it had been about 2 minutes. I don't know. It's very, very difficult.
I was thinking
That's a very difficult movement.
When I was watching that, I thought you were just holding it. I was saying, boy, Frank is just holding that shot. He's going to be there for the entire point.
Yeah, but I love when that happens because when you get to see a performance like that without cuts, where you see the development of the line, where you see it's not manipulated with someone else's emotions, just to allow the actor to keep going forward. I love that.
It's thrilling for me, those scenes. Scene like between the two of you in the shadow of the shadow of the prison wall, when you guys are talking about Mexico, when you're talking about your dream of
roll tape.
I played a mean harmonica as a younger man. Lost interest in it though. Didn't make much sense in here.
Here's where it makes the most sense. You need it so you don't forget.
Forget?
Yeah, forget that there are places in the world that aren't made out of stone, that there's something inside that they can't get to, that they can't touch. It's yours.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
Hope. Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
Like Brooks did?
Why does he leave then? And was
We
that in the
got word
script?
that Brooks had killed himself.
Right. He got word that he killed himself outside because he'd been free.
Right.
And in fact, he was an institutional man.
Don't want to hear this kind of stuff. And it's true, you don't. You know, you're in here for life. You're in here for life. Hoping you'll get out is a waste of time. Total waste of time. Bring your mind here. Deal.
Or you'll go crazy.
Oh, you're going to go insane. Yeah, you know.
Your character has courage. He doesn't seem like a courageous guy when you meet him. He seems like a guy, you don't know who he is. You know he's been victimized by this events that lead him here. Mm-hmm. But up on the roof, an extraordinary scene on the roof where you could have been pushed over and nobody would have known different. But you live by your wits and by your courage as a character.
I think the wits, yes. I'm not so sure about the courage. I think in those moments, like he does that, and there's the moment where he locks himself in in the warden's office and plays music and knows he's going to get punished. I think he just needs to feel alive. I think it's that thing that happens in institutionalization where your senses get deadened and you just need to burst out of it and feel alive, to get a beer on the roof. Or the goals are simple, you know, to get some beers from my buddies and to hear some Mozart. You know?
That's after the fact. I think initially this was a desperation not to get thrown off the roof. I tell you what I can do for you. I can do something for you.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think he knew he was going to propose that. I didn't think he didn't think he'd be on the ledge so soon.
Oh.
But I think he knew that he had
formulating
a plan.
a way to
yeah, he was gonna propose this plan in order to just, well, it's a very simple goal, but just to feel alive, just to shake it up a little bit. I don't know if that's courage or just, maybe it's just out and out recklessness.
It is defiance. And defiance, some would say, is freedom.
Yes.
How much directing is here? I mean, to listen to them, they are so caught up in the... We're all caught up in the characters, you know, because it touches our lives and we makes us think about things, emotional things that hit the heart, having to do with being alive, having to do with hope, having to do with defiance, having to do with love, friendship, you know.
Well, there are all those issues certainly that you carry in your. You've both directed, so you.
Yeah, I heard him directing when he's talking about the. You know, clearly that was a man that thinks about directing.
You're always trying to maintain those conceptual thoughts, aren't you? Yeah, those emotional issues, those thematic issues in your head. But at the same time, you've undertaken this huge technical challenge as well, and you're trying to just stay alive. You know, day by make your days, you know, and so you're balancing that big technical challenge, really, which any film is, with those finer, more ephemeral things, and it gets a little schizo sometimes, I find.
Two things. Number one, this film was not received universally as a big money winner, a big, huge critical success.
We
more
got
critical success than financial success in the beginning.
We got extremely well reviewed, except in a few key areas. So the perception was we hadn't gotten well reviewed at all, you know, because the 5 reviews that people read across the country are the ones that kicked our butts.
From big papers.
Yeah, you know, like the LA Times and the
New York Times.
The New York Times. Yeah, for some reason we just. Thus has it ever been.
Chicago Sun-Time.
Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
He did.
He did like it. That's what I